Energy Secretary Rick Perry's praise for President Trump, well, it may say more about him and where the Republican Party is right now than it does about this president. Listen to this.
I said, Mr. President, I know there are people that say, you said you were the chosen one. And I said, you were. None of us got here by accident. I'm a big believer that the God of our universe is still very active in the details of the day-to-day lives of government. Barack Obama didn't get to be the president of the United States without being ordained by God. Neither did Donald Trump.
Well, joining me now to discuss, Alice Stewart and Wajahat Ali. Alice, I'll turn to you first. You're a woman of faith. Right. Tell me, what was your reaction when you heard Rick Perry say this about the chosen one and the president of the United States?
I say he is 100% correct.
Really?
As a woman of faith, as a Christian, I truly believe God is sovereign. All authority comes from God. And when it came down to who God thought should lead this country at this time, he decided, for whatever reason, that it should be Donald Trump. Just as he did when it was Barack Obama, when it was George Bush, Bill Clinton. I truly believe as a Christian, this was God's divine choice at this time, and this is what God wanted. And a lot of people might take what Rick Perry said and say, how can someone look at someone like Donald Trump and say he is the one that God specifically chose? That is the way it is. And as a person of faith, that's how I view it. And I know exactly what Rick Perry was meaning to say when he said that. And it is because God is the sovereign God.
So you think that Rick Perry was right and that Donald Trump is the chosen one, but you said also that you think that you know what he meant to say. I mean, there's a little bit between God's plan. I think you've described God's plan as
right.
You're talking about colloquially, as opposed to the notion of a chosen one. One has a very different connotation. Don't you agree?
When he's talking about God being the chosen one, what he's referring to, and the way Christians and evangelicals view that terminology, it is, as I said, God is the great God. He is the one that all-knowing, all-powerful, and he decides he is the vessel of what happens, whether we're talking about in this country, in this world, and for whatever reason, Donald Trump is a broken person. He is a person who has made many mistakes. I am a broken person. I've made many mistakes. I'm not perfect. Donald Trump's not perfect. But for whatever reason, God decided that Donald Trump is the one that needs to lead right now.
Well, Wajahat, there was one separation of church and state, but we'll put that away for a second. Former Ambassador Nikki Haley made similar comments, by the way, in a new interview with the Christian Broadcast Network. Listen to this.
I think it goes to show that everything happens for a reason. And the way I see it is, look at the results of Donald Trump as president. We have more friends and family with jobs than we've ever had before. We have the economy moving in a direction it's, hasn't been in a long time, but is doing great. We are acknowledging real truths with a president that had the courage to move the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
So, Wajahat, it sounds more like compartmentalizing because the results are favorable than one about an argument for religion. What do you think?
Yeah, God's plan was also to give the Democrats a blue wave majority in the House and allow impeachment hearings. God also raised Moses to overthrow the Pharaoh. So let's see what God's plan is. But we should see the ideology underpinning this, because Jerry Falwell Jr., one of the many white evangelical leaders who supports Trump, in an interview said in January that I will support Trump no matter what. Franklin Graham recently said that he also believes that Trump is God's chosen one, and those who oppose him are demonically possessed. That means the majority of Americans are demonically possessed. So the ideology here of Trump being a flawed instrument is for this implementation of a Christian nationalist ideology. And they say that Trump is the flawed instrument like the pagan Persian King Cyrus, whom God uses to do good things. The good things for them is he will fight for religious freedoms for Christians, he will implement conservative judges, he'll take out Roe v. Wade, deregulation, less taxes on the rich, and also Jews have to control Jerusalem, according to this theology, for Jesus to return. They don't really care about Jews, because if you listen to what they say about Jews, pretty bad. But this is also an apocalyptic end of times theology, Laura. They say that he's setting up the stage for the rapture. Who has said this? Pompeo, as Secretary of State. He literally said that I believe God chose Trump so that Israel will be protected from Iran. Sarah Huckabee Sanders also said that he's chosen by God. And so I say What are we doing as a nation when we see white evangelical leaders literally say that he can do no wrong, and that no matter what he does, we will support Trump?
No,
Last time I checked, it's the United States of America.
Well, let me tell you, I gotta tell both of you, this is a longer conversation. You both have great points to make. I wish I had more time to do it, but not tonight. Thanks for watching. Our coverage continues with Jake Tapper and the CNN Special Report, All the President's Lies.